स्टार्ट करे છે
हाँ मैडम एक मिनट मैडम प्लीज
Good afternoon. Here I warm welcome to Academic Director Sir, Principal Sir, Alumni Director Sir, and Coordinators, Head of the Department Mrs. Poonam Ma'am, and all dear faculties and all the participants. So we believe nothing can stop us to learn, so that we gather here virtually. So without delay, I would like to welcome our one of the alumni guests, Mrs. Dimple Dave, who is Senior Software Engineer in Gateway Group of Company at Ahmedabad. So we start our today's session on gear, VR and TV testing is based on the virtual reality. Okay, so Dimple, we start now.
Hello guys, I hope you all will enjoy a techno virtual session of me. First of all, I'm going to present on Gear VR and TV testing, a virtual reality. Let's understand what is a virtual reality world. Virtual reality world is something which makes you presence of any component, elements or any system around you which actually does not exist in real. So that is our main aim of this session. And now let's understand it in details. So first of all, let's understand the virtual reality and what are its scopes in the world. Virtual reality is a simulated experience that can be similar to or completely different from the real world. It is not actually what we see in really around the world. Application of virtual reality can include entertainment like video games, educational purpose, medical, military, etc. So these are the some of the scopes which we can consider over here. Currently, standard virtual reality systems use either reality handsets or multi-projected environment to generate realistic images, sounds, and other sensations that simulate a user's physical presence in a virtual environment. This is something which gives us idea that how it is being generated around us, what are the gadgets we used, what are the environments we have to set up to feel something virtual environment around us. A person using virtual reality equipment is able to look around the artificial world, move around it, and interact with virtual features or items. I'll give a basic example and a video to watch over for this example, right? So that everyone can feel that how it is felt to the real user. The effect is commonly created by VR handsets consisting of a head-mounted display with a small screen in front of eyes, but can also be through specially designed rooms with multiple large screens. I've already shown on the screen the type of the Gear VR, which is most recent popular innovation in the this virtual reality world, right? This handset we have to connect with our devices and have to feel on it. We'll look on it on more details in our next. The other topic was I am included about it was the latest smart TV platforms. First, let's understand some kind of basics and its scopes. A smart TV device is either a television set with integrated internet capability or a set-top box for television that offers more advanced computing ability and connectivity than a contemporary basic television set. Now, this is the most basic thing nowadays every person is using, right? Most of the guys will be using these smart TVs. You have even observed that some of the mid-level technology TVs, which the HDMI ports are able to convert themselves into smart TV by different hardware devices. Most commonly, we can say Google Chrome, Apple TV, Fire Stick. There are lots of devices which can help us to convert these things. And some of the even devices are inbuilt with this, like Sony TV, Samsung for the Tizen version after 2014 and 16, which are having this kind of technologies. Smart TVs may be thought of as an information appliance or the computer system from a mobile device integrated within a television set unit. As such, a smart TV often allows the user to install and run more advanced applications or plugins, add-ons based on a specific platform. Nowadays, all the media level, all the entertainment, each and every app or the platform is able to be visible in this TV platform also. A simple example, everybody is using YouTube on your mobile device or either on the web, right? The same thing is also available in the smart TVs. How, we will see later. Smart TVs run a complete operating system or a mobile operating system software, providing a platform for application developers. Now, let's go deeper on the first side, virtual reality and Gear VR. While the majority of the hundred of applications we have tasted have been desktop and mobile apps, we have started working increasingly more with VR AR as a new devices and compatible apps are released. As a taster, most of the persons are nowadays going to have been working on the either desktop applications or mobile applications, right? This is something, a new world which has been emerging since last 1 or 1.5 year in India, but in outside India it has more platform to the users for their usage, right? In this session, we will cover different types of VR devices testing and few challenges specific to VR AR projects that testing team can face. This is the most important point of it. The base technology is prepared to use for 360-degree videos, also known as immersive videos or spherical videos, are video recordings where a view in every direction is recorded at the same time, shot using an omnidirectional camera or a collection of camera. So here the base technology what we are using is like I am capturing a video of a room. Then in a normal camera shoot it will be just only the focus direction, right? But over here we have to and have facility to cover the whole 360-degree area of that particular room. How we are doing that? We have certain kind of cameras with those facilities, right? During playback on normal flat display, the viewer has control of viewing directionals like panorama. It can also be played or displayed on projectors around, right? So here in normal view of the video, you can simply have or the video playback only on one direction. But here in 360-degree videos, it will provide all the sounds over all the 360-degree videos coming over while you record it, right? We will check on how it will. What is important when we talk about testing a VR application? This is the most important thing and a core part of this session. The goal of QA is to ensure the correct behavior of the application. With VR or AR, there are many metrics in the testing process to be aware of, and it is most important to ensure that user error does not affect test outcomes. This is the basic goal of a tester when he or she will assure any kind of product, right, through their profession. Testing on AR and VR devices adds more complication to the usual process of manual testing on phone, tablets, laptops, desktop, browsers, etc. This is not something what we normally used to test. Here are certain kind of physical challenges also included while working professionally. VR now includes a full body immersive experience as opposed to the usual app and website user experience we are used to. It will give a full body immersive experience, means 360 direction experience through your app or a website. Quality assurance is in some way more important in VR than in classic games. The process of testing a VR app is divided in two parts. F functionality, overall ease of user experience. F functionality is a routine functionality testing which we used to do as similar to how we do on other platforms like web, phones, tablets, laptops, etc. The main important part is overall ease of user experience. That is also similarly important to app application testing while we do it on functional level. Now, what are the challenges while doing Gear VR testing? There are physical consequences to wearing VR AR devices such as headaches, motions, sickness, and eye strain. It is necessary to minimize user fatigue and discomfort while using the app as much as possible. This is the main challenge which we face while doing this kind of testing work through Gear VR. Every normal person is not eligible to do this kind of testing. I will share personal my experience when I started working on this kind of platform, right? So on the starting basis, I was suddenly getting headaches, was even feeling severe nausea kind of things after using the world. Even you remove the gear VR, still you will feel the world is going still around. Nothing has stopped in your mind. So these are the things, the main challenges we face during this test. So whenever we have to make any person eligible to this kind of tasting work, before that we have to make certain kind of checks whether the person is eligible physically to do this testing or not. Because that is more important while doing it. If the person is not feeling well or normal headaches, then he won't be able to concentrate on the work, right? To prevent this kind of discomfort, we do accessibility testing. Accessibility testing, I'm sure many of you will be aware of. Nowadays, in all the smartphones, accessibility functionality is available. That is specially for the disabled or a blind person, where you can voice over each and every element. They will speak out, and through which we can interact. That is called the accessibility. It means that our role is also to ensure that there is no accessibility issue for users with visual, physical, hearing, or cognitive impairments. VR AR devices are still in the very early stages, so there are currently no safety guidelines or regulations for developers to follow. We can expect in future, like we have more kind of things and safety guidelines for this, but currently it is still very hard to have it, as it is in very early stage, especially in India. Might only see on the professional levels, but on normal user levels it is very rare to find out someone using Gear VR, right? Testers must have the necessary space and resources they need to safely use the app, which minimizes user error. Testing a VR app requires a specific process. Now we will see that what is the process, how to test it. Testing VR AR application requires a completely different testing process. We are not just testing for any functional bugs, but for the physical user experience issues that VR can cause. All the testers that use AR VR devices during a project are provided with device specific training before conducting any testing to make sure they are comfortable using the device. AR/VR is a new frontier in the tasting world, because if you are going to taste on normal web application or mobile application, either you go for certain kind of links of the software through which you can access that particular testable version, or in mobile you can simply install. But how you will do all these things in Gear VR? And each Gear VR is having a specific physical configuration. So it is very necessary that all the testers will be having the device specific training. It is not something that I have gone for one device training, then I can use any kind of Gear VR, right? But it is not like that way. We, if we use different kind of Gear VRs, right, then we have to accommodate certain kind of device specific training, because otherwise in one gear we are testing, you are good enough and you are not feeling any kind of physical strain while testing, and you find yourself the eligible person to test the technology, right? But after some days when you are getting other model of gear VRs and you are not having the same situation, you are facing certain kind of physical stress, headaches, nausea, sickness after the work, then it is very necessary, right? So here there is kind of little different process how to do it, how to install. A similar Play Store is available with certain kind of eligible accounts which are being made by the developers, through which we can get the certain kind of applications in Gear VR itself when you attach certain eligible phones, and through which you can access the application for the test. Here I would like to show some kind of Samsung class which are all eligible for the Gear VR devices, right? So the most of the things will start from the Note 4, which is the oldest version supporting Gear VR. After that, 7, S6, Galaxy 7, 8, 9, 10, each and every device have started supporting Gear VR, right? But with specific Gear VR models only. Here I have already mentioned that what model of VR is supporting what devices, right? So it is very necessary when you go for the testing, you have picked correct device supporting correct VR device, right? Because if gear and device configuration does not match, you'll not able to proceed further for your work. So it is very necessary that you select a correct device with correct gear VR supporting device. This is the link I'm going to show you. I hope you'll enjoy the experience of the video.
Say hello to one of the largest cats on the planet. Some adult male tigers can weigh up to 650 pounds. One swipe of that powerful paw can crush a
This
buffalo's
video
skull.
actually you can see it
These
is
tigers are used to
360-degree
nearby cameras,
video.
so you'll get to see some
You
amazing
can
videos
see
today.
one hand icon over here in the center, which I'm moving through my
No two
mouse.
tigers are alike.
That is
Their
my
stripes are as
dragging
unique as a
heading
fingerprints.
indicator,
And actually, that's
through
how
which I will
identify
be
and study
able to
individuals by
interact
their
this
stripe
video,
patterns.
right?
They even have stripes on their skin.
See,
This
I'm
perfectly
moving
adapted
any
apex
in
predator
my
has no
interaction with the
natural
video
enemies
is with
except,
any direction.
unfortunately,
Here I
humans.
can see some animal is moving,
We've
right?
revered tigers for
Now I'm
centuries,
seeing on
but that
something
hasn't
different
stopped us from
direction
driving
where the
them to the
animal is
brink of
going on.
extinction.
I want to see
In the
some
last 100 years,
backside of the thing, then I
96%
can
of
even
all tigers have
interact it.
disappeared. 96%. This tragic decline is mainly due to habitat loss
This
and
is
poaching for
actually
illegal
a
wildlife trade.
360 video with having
Whiskers, tails,
immersive
skin,
effect.
eyes. Every part of the tiger is sold on the black market for use in traditional medicine
So
or as
through
status
this heading
symbols.
indicator, I'll be able
Even
to
their
move and
bones are
interact with
used
the
to create
video.
tiger
The
armor
video
hide.
part which I am
Check out these
interested, I
photos I
can
took
see
of
through it,
confiscated
right?
tiger parts caught coming into the
So
United
these are
States.
the
I know they're
360
hard to look
videos
at. It's
where we
important
can
to
interact.
understand what's happening.
Even these all are available with our Facebooks also, and even our other applications also, right? So after this session, I hope you guys will watch some kind of things over there, right? So you can get exact idea that how we can interact through this, right? So you can enjoy some immersive videos on YouTube or Facebook or any other app also. They are all available, so you can understand the experience that how it gives to you, right? Now our next basic topic is TV platform app testing. TV platform, as you earlier I told, like nowadays the world has become more smart, right? Now the world has become more technology wise, usage wise, everything the world needs the latest one, right? How they can improve the user experience for that. Previously we were only restricting the smart technology usage through our either mobile or laptops. Nowadays, we are going that and trying to search our wishes and all through the smart TV. So let's understand smart TV platform, apps and testing. Smart TV should not be confused with internet TV, IPTV or web television. It is not similar to these all listed television. It is very different thing with different configuration and the working technology. Internet TV refers to receiving television content over the internet instead of traditional systems such as terrestrial, cable, and satellite, regardless how the internet is delivered. The second one is IPTV is one of the internet television technology standards for use by television broadcasters. Web television is a term used for programs created by a wide variety of companies and individuals for broadcast on internet TV. Now, in smart TVs, the operating system is preloaded or is available through the setup box. The software applications or apps can be preloaded into the device or updated or installed on demand via an app store or marketplace in a similar manner to how the apps are integrated in modern smartphones. Nowadays, everybody is installing applications in smartphones, right? Through how? Through their respective play stores. So in smart TV, exactly similar play stores are available where you can hunt for your choice of applications. Smart TV devices also provide access to user generated content, either stored on an external hard drive or in cloud storage, and to interactive services and internet applications such as YouTube, many using HTTP live streamings, also known as HLS, adaptive streamings, right? So these are some kind of services which are already available. Nowadays, the most popular service what the world is using for the entertainment, especially on media, you can say like Netflix, Amazon. So these all applications are available on TV platforms, so that user can have a rich experience of their media playings. Smart TV devices facilitate the curation of traditional content by combining information from the internet with the content from TV providers. Services offer users a mean to track and receive reminders about shows or sporting events, as well as the ability to change channel for immediate viewing. So here how it will be providing us with the facility. Here even the certain kind of applications are connected with your accounts, right? So it will provide you certain kind of notifications, reminders about your shows. A simple example, everybody is using Netflix, right? So in Netflix, usually you get different kind of notifications, the upcoming new episodes, the upcoming new channels, all kind of reminders. So even you can also add them to your wish list, right, to watch. So these kind of things are also available on TV application apps. Nowadays, there are lots of TV applications which are under media domain, but in India we hardly use Netflix, YouTube, or Amazon Prime. But there are other applications like Hulu, Roku, and other Fire Sticks applications are also available, right? Some devices feature additional interactive organic user interface, natural user interface technologies for navigation, control, and other human interaction. With a smart TV, with such as second screen companion device, spatial gestures input like with Xbox Kinect, and even for speech recognition for natural language user interface. Nowadays, if you are using Apple TV or Fire Sticks, there is always a remote accompanied with the setup box, right? In the remote, if you are ever not noticed and used, there is a voice control feature. or speech recognition, through which you can simply say and it will recognize your things. Like if I'm saying on my remote that I want to play a YouTube, please open YouTube app. Then the smart TV store will open you and give the connection to the YouTube. You can find, you can even search in that YouTube, like, okay, I want to see the videos of animals. Then they will allow you to search the content and place some suggestions out of which you can look out. So there are lots of features available which can give user a best interface to interact with the media. Smart TV develops new features to satisfy consumers and companies, such as payment process, right? Now, except the YouTube, most of the smart TV applications are paid. But if you want to have some kind of basic level, right, then they may provide some free subscription. Otherwise, for the rich experience, we have to go for the paid services, right? LG and Payment Wall have collaborated to allow consumers to access purchase apps, movies, games, and more using a remote control, laptop, tablet, or smartphone. Right? So, even through the TVs, we can go for the accessing and purchasing of the applications, movies, and all. Everybody knows, like in YouTube or Netflix is already paid service with annual or monthly subscription, right? But in YouTube, it allows you for that particular movie to purchase with some X amount, right? So these kind of facilities are provided and developed in the smart TV as a new upcoming features. Now here I'm showing some of the gadgets. Very few will be known to you guys, but there are lots of gadgets based on the platforms and language used to develop that hierarchical apps. So here the basic idea I'm showing over here is for connected TV, right? Which we can usually pronounce in the professional world. We don't say smart TVs, we always say connected TVs. So here in my first level, all the languages supporting or what kind of development environment is required for this kind of setup boxes to get available with the application development, right? So first we will study for the Apple. Apple is an separate individual platform, right? So if we want to develop any kind of applications which we want to make it available to Apple TV hardware, then we have to choose Apple platform environment for the development. So under Apple platform we are having an Apple TV hardware. There are lots of version of Apple TVs available, 3, 4, 5, with different kind of functionalities. Most of the times now in professional world, Apple TV is very common in the offices to use. The second platform is HTML language based TV platform, so under which we are having 3 to 5 different types of set-top box plus TV with inbuilt functionality of smart platform. So here there is also a Shield TV, a hardware name called Shield TV. Other is Sony TV. Sony TV is again a individual set TV box which will provide all this smart TV functionality inbuilt. Here you do not need any kind of external connections or set-top box to be connected. It itself has all the facilities. Nowadays, this Amazon Fire TV and Amazon Fire TV Stick have become little bit popular in India. The other one is also Samsung TV, which has the same inbuilt functionality, but only after 2014 and 16 with Tizen version OS of the TV only. Otherwise, you have to add any kind of this listed set-top boxes available externally. The third platform here is Osmeta, right? This Osmeta is kind of the platform which the developers have made, where there is lots of combination and support, right? Where Apple is not supported, HTML TV does not work, desktop TV does not work, casting also does not work, right? So this is kind of a mixture platform which they have built. If any of this platform set-top box does not work, then this should work. So this is kind of that platform which is available to the people. Here there is also an TV, Android TV is available as an hardware, and the second one is also with WinStore TV available, right? Under Android platform TV, we have again Shield TV, Sony TV, the same, Amazon Fire TV, Google Nexus Player, Google Fire Stick. And on the WinStore, this is also one of the popular things which we are using it, right? Xbox One and Xbox One S, right? These are the most popular things which we have been using. Now the fourth platform is desktop TV, right? Desktop TV is simple desktop TV which we use in our routine life, where we have everything inbuilt in it. The other last one is casting. This casting nowadays have become more popular in India as it is available on cheaper rates. So anybody can afford it if they want to enjoy the media on TV platform also. So under that, we are having a Chromecast which is already supporting in iOS, Android, and www yani web applications. The other hardware is also available, Samsung Casting iOS. This is a different hardware which can provide the same facility. Here behind this chart, I just wanted to give you the idea that what kind of setup boxes are available in the world with different features as per the requirement. In professional world, the most common hardwares are used is Apple TV and this Chromecast. Apple TV is bit costlier, but Chromecast is bit cheaper. So Chromecast anybody can even use on their personal levels or even in professional levels. So nowadays these all hardwares are available in online or anywhere through which we can experience, right? Now let's take to other one. Different areas of tasting can be tasted. So what are the different areas of platforms, applications with TV are available to us? The first one is social networking and television. Social networking nowadays has become so popular in the day-to-day routine world. Each and every a small category person is also involved in social media using, right? That is the time nowadays what we are observing over the world. Some smart TV platforms come pre-packaged or can be optionally extended with social networking technology capabilities. So some of the TVs already come with those things. Many kind of packages, even sometimes the subscriptions are made free with certain kind of setup box for 3 months, 6 months, based on the schemes which they make available to user. The addition of social networking synchronization to smart TV and HTTPS PC platform may provide an interaction with both on-screen content and other viewers than is currently available to most television, while simultaneously providing a much more cinematic experience of the content than is currently available with most computers. Here the platform will try to give the user a more cinematic experience than to watching a normal TV. Right? There is lots of difference in the experience how you observe using smart TVs than to the normal TV. The second area of testing over here may be depending on the advertising. This is the lots of emerging world advertisement. Now this world is, you can say, it is totally based on the advertisements and the quality of advertisements being made for your product. So some smart TV platforms also support interactive advertising, addressable advertising with local advertising insertion and targeted advertising. and other advanced advertising features such as ad telescoping using VOD. VOD means video on demand, and DVR, yani device VR, enhanced TV for consumer, call to action, and audience measurement solutions for ad campaign effectiveness. Now, the basic example I'm sharing for this advertising platform is nowadays you are watching advertisements while watching a video on YouTube, on Facebook, on Hotstar, right? So this kind of media has also emerged. So when you are watching the same thing on the TV platforms, you'll get lots of advertisements, right? So that is also considered a basic area where we a taster have to hunt for their tasting. Now third section is security. There is evidence that a smart TV is vulnerable to attacks. Security is a main concern over here, so it is very serious for an taster to consider and taste the security level of the application which is being used on TV platform. Some serious security bugs have been discovered, and some successful attempts to run malicious code to get unauthorized access were documented on video. There are lots of attacks can happen on the TV platform, right? Like if you are watching any copyright video, you are trying to capture it, then what happens, right? You're using anyone's copyright video on TV platform, then what happens? So those kind of security attacks have to be tested in this scenario. There is evidence that it is possible to gain root access to the device, install malicious software, access and modify configuration information for a remote control, remotely access and modify files on TV. Because nowadays most of the TVs are having an HDMI attachments where you can even connect your mobile phone, even you can connect your USB drives, right? Or any other hard drives, right? So this is very necessary to test on the security part of the application. There have also been concerns that hackers may be able to remotely turn on the microphone or web camera on a smart TV, being able to eavesdrop on private conversations. So, here security testing plays a key role for owners to protect their content. They have to involve lots of security aspects to save this kind of security attacks from any hackers or any users on their copyright content, right? If you guys have observed while sharing any copyright or security content on Facebook, right? If you are sharing that video, you will be able to share, but after few minutes or after few week or any whatever time being specified, your content will vanish from it. You will only able to see something posted with content not available. This is a basic example which everyone usually faces. I usually observe these things when I share any movie which I want to, and after going to after a few time or few week or something, I will navigate to that shared movie post. The movie is gone, right? So this is a basic example how we face, and this is due to the restriction of the copyright content that I have shared, because it is copyrighted, right? So everyone cannot share it. Only the page or a account which is having the rights to share that content. So that was the most simple example we can link on in our day-to-day world. The next aspect is restriction of access. Internet websites can block smart TV access to content at will or tailor the content that will be received by each platform. So here what it may happens, like any news channel, you can say NBC or any local news channel, they will launch some kind of videos. So internet websites can block those videos, or either they can trim those videos, so the actual content here is getting modified and is not available to the user. So this is also main aspect where tester have to check all these things, that is it allowing, the application is allowing to modify it, it should never allow it, otherwise the user will not actually get the content which it is supposed to be expected. Here, reliability. In 2017, high-end Samsung smart TVs stopped working for at least 7 days after a software update. Application providers are rarely upgrading smart TV apps to the latest version. This is the example. If anyone belongs to the tech world, then they might have heard in the news that in 2007, due to an software upgradation, this issue had happened, which a company has to resolve it quickly. But still, it was being down and cut off from the experience using for the even more than 7 days. Now, top tips while testing smart TV applications. Here, I would like to provide some kind of tips when you go for testing. The first is avoid emulator. Emulators, I am not sure the audience are available or not, or aware of this emulator and simulator world. What actually it means? Emulator is a kind of software which is used in place of the actual hardware. For example, I want some kind of Android phone, right, for my application testing, but that phone is not available to me. Say, example, like our latest OS 9, 10, 11, right? So, any latest OS, but the phone is still not available. What you will do? You will get that version software emulator on your laptop, so we can install. You will get exact the same feeling, the same screen size, everything what you see on your phone. That is a emulator being provided for the Android devices, and for simulators are being provided for all Apple devices. So here it is helpful in the professional world where you do not need to have on the hardware phones, but you can simply test your applications on the simulators or simulators. But here in TV platform, it is not feasible advice to use it. Emulators are designed software to provide simulation for important features of smart TVs. As smart TVs are expensive and it is difficult to arrange all the version of the actual TVs, developers use emulators instead. Developers do use, but for tester it is not, never it is advisable, right? Because of this expensiveness of the TV. Now, when I started testing all the smart TV application, at that time I remember that a TV was being purchased worth rupees 1 lakh, and that too it was rarely available in India. We have to manage to get it for our testing purpose, right? So in our routine life, 1 lakh is bit too much expensive, right? So people go for these emulators instead, but it is not advisable to use it. However, some of the smart TV platforms such as Roku do not provide emulator, and some other that provide emulators aren't fully capable. So there are, this Roku is again a type of hardware and a platform and also a application which is available for the smart TVs. This leads to improper testing because emulator is again a experience of a software, right? It is not, any hardware is not engaged in that. So even though you have tested on emulator, it is still advisable to at least check once on the actual TV hardware, because playing the things, watching the videos and all, a hardware is also much dependent on it. So if you want to give the application and give the user the rich experience for your application usage, then you have to test. So emulators may create other issues also, such as like in emulator your application may work very nicely, but when you install the same application with the hardware connected, it won't perform well. In emulator, the video is playing, but when you connect, it is not playing, right? Why it is not playing in the real time hardware? Either the hardware is not good or frequency does not match it, which can make the playing of the video eligible, right? Internet speed is also dependent on this, so there are lots of factors. So here most of the thing is the main thing, avoid always emulator and test on the real smart TV hardwares only. Second is platform store guidelines. Platform store is a similar platform store which is available in mobile, right? Everyone is using either iPhones or Android. iPhone are having Apple store and Android is having Google store. The same way, each and every TV or a setup box of smart TV will be having their own individual store. Platforms have prepared guidelines for developers and testers so to help them verify the application before submitting them to a store. So it is a basic process. Many of the audience will be available that before the application is actually available to the users, there is certain kind of verification being done from the store itself, right? So once the store will qualify your application and eligible to launch for the public, after that only it is launched. It is a basic process. These platforms verify applications submitted to store basis these guidelines. There are certain kind of store guidelines individually, right? So Apple might be having some kind of set of guidelines which we have to take care, right? This Android side also will be having Play Store guidelines. It will be other. So here we have to check as an tester that as per the guidelines our application should be have. That is the main goal for a tester, and how these guidelines are helpful to them while testing. So they have to only check one thing, that the application should behave as per the given store guidelines. If proper smart TV app testing is done following the platform guidelines, it reduces the probability rejection up to 50%. So whenever if we have tested a smart TV application as per the guidelines, then it reduces the rejection. Rejection from whom? From the even the stores also, where you are going to upload the application. You can check out the guidelines of Tizen TV, Apple TV, Android, and Roku on the net. These are the few examples where the guidelines for the platform store is available. The third thing is network scenarios. Mostly the app works fine under normal network conditions. Now everyone is knowing that all the smart TVs and all, they definitely work on the internet. Even nowadays the most famous is a Geo setup box. Many of the people might be aware of it, right? The whole Geo setup box works on the internet. What if the internet is not there? You won't be able to enjoy the TV. However, at times they behave unexpectedly, especially when the network is low or not available. During such time, the app may freeze, abruptly exit, distort images and links, create functional issues, or corrupt the database. These are the basic common issues when we face when the network goes up and down. So while testing smart TV application, we have to consider this aspect also. So what may be some common things you will observe, that while internet is up and down, your app will get freeze, continuous loading indicator is shown, right? Or sometimes it will behave or abruptly or may exit or crash the application. Distort images, many times you might be seeing on news channels or something that images get flickered constantly, right? that is called distort images and links also. Create some functional issues like you want to forward backward the video or your media, it is not allowing, right? If you go for forward, it is continuously loading, it is not never getting start, those kind of things. These are the basic things which we have to test. Below scenario should be included for smart TV networking testing. In the case of no network, a proper error message should be displayed to the user. Proper error message, we have to understand over here very clearly. Proper error message means a lot. How I'll give a simple example, right? Whenever any of the many people have already observed in some of the sites or applications, they will always place a common error message. For simple example, you will enter a username and a password, there are two fields, right? So if you'll go for username wrong and password correct, still they will display please enter correct username and password. So it is a common message. Okay, so here user is not able to get the exact information that what is wrong, what is here exactly wrong. They should clearly indicate a proper error message like your username is wrong or either your password is wrong. Here you cannot display any kind of general error message, right? So that is very important thing over here. When there is no network, please, the error message should be indicating something like network is low or not eligible to reconnect the media, right? Error message should have retry option. This functionality should be always there in this kind of applications. So here as a tester, we have to always test the retry option because we don't want user to lose their focus of media. If just imagine you are watching any video and it is continuously loading, right? And after that there is no retry option, it has stopped, then you will lose the focus and network is gone. How you will go with that video again? Imagine if it is crashing, then the whole path you have to reach there again, from the store, from the application, from that particular channel, from that particular episode. That is really very bad user experience. Personally, even you will face the same thing, you will never try to watch again the same. So here we don't want user to lose their focus of media. So the main important thing is retry option, and it is to be tested thoroughly under each and every possible conditions of network. That you should always be able to retry your media. Video streaming is a basic feature of smart TV. Testing internet scenarios, resuming of video, streaming after the network is regained is an important tip in testing. So again, video streaming is a basic, right? In the smart TV platforms, you will ultimately find the content in the form of video streaming. So here we have to take care all the video streaming scenarios over here, like resuming, backward, forward, pause, play under different network conditions. In the case of no network, proper message on splash screen is must, as I mentioned earlier. The app should work fine on 2G networks. So here it should not have any kind of restriction over the network, right? So it should not like that way it will only work with 5G, it will only work with 4G or 3G. It should work on overall all the average networks being provided in the location. Now, fourth important thing is different resolution. With different resolutions such as 8K, 4K, Ultra HD, Full HD, 720 pixels, right? These are some well-known abbreviations while we go for purchasing and smart TV, right? Everyone is aware of these things. A smart TV will label any of this mentioned resolutions over there, that what resolution it is supporting. An app might work well on one resolution while freeze on other. So what exactly here a tester have to take care over here, that the application should work on different types of resolution. Like it should not be meant for only 4K. Imagine the application is working on only 4K smart TVs. What about the audience which are having Ultra HD and Full HD TVs? They'll not able to enjoy your applications, right? So it should not like that way. So when a person is testing this kind of application, they have to pick all these kind of variations of resolutions in their test cycle. An app might work well on one resolution while freeze on the other. The culprit is CSS as it is written with Pixel or EM. Most TVs don't support Pixel. CSS and thereafter must be taken by the dev team. So smart TV is new domain, right? So comparing with competitor apps, there are lots of competition over here. Even new domain and testers as well as developers are not much aware about smart TV, all the features, functionalities, UI and capabilities. Thereupon, the feature and functionality should be checked on competitor apps also. Like it should not be, the basic idea behind this is it should not happen like application only will be working on Apple TV setup boxes. It won't work on Google Chromecast setup box, right? So if you are making a worldwide global application, then we have to check like my application should work on all the setup box which are available and eligible to play it. So this is the main idea behind this. Comparing apps helps to determine a scenario, right? Now the sixth one is core focus on app UI. This is also main important thing. So testers here have to think like designers in smart TV testings because there may be some variations from design because of platform behavior, and hence testing team should ultimately decide and move ahead with an acceptable solutions. So here app UI is very important. Smart TV app is not similar to a mobile app. You cannot add many functionalities. Smart TV is restricted, right? So it should have a minimum features achievable with minimum user steps. It is not similar kind of mobile where you can have all the functionality. It will have a very restricted functionality with restricted interactions. So here we have to check this also, that with this restriction user is able to achieve the goal of rich experience or not. So this is the basic idea behind it. Now the next is video audio streaming. Again, this is the basic, as the TV platform application is based on the video streaming, right? The content will always be in the same form. Video streaming, after the internet reconnects, audio and video should be syncing. Like audio is behind, then video, it should not happen like that way. Live video should sync on multiple platforms, buffering of video with forward and rewind features, audio play with earphones, screensaver functioning while the video is playing. These are some kind of basic things which we have to take care while testing TV applications, right? So companies are building really cool products. User experience is at the core of product development, right? While smart TV applications development remains to be a relatively new domain, a lot of players are already exploring it to provide seamless digital experience to customers. In such time, testing becomes extremely important and a key to success in Gear VR and smart TV space. So, as I mentioned, like it is very important for a tester what we need to take care over here, right? So here I would like to narrate, and I hope everyone have a bit idea of this kind of testings. We, what things we have to take care, what things we need to check on, in what areas, in what compatible platforms, that and so. So I hope everyone have enjoyed this technology session, and I'm sure many of audience can try also, like for their immersive videos, how we will react, right? Yes, passing over to Kalpana.
Okay, thank you so much, Dimple, giving us such an amazing information. about the virtual reality and its testing tools and security and its platform. So thank you so much, all the participants who are watching this up to the end of the session. Okay, thank you so much for supporting me, the faculties and HOD ma'am and academic director sir and principal sir. Thank you so much, sir, giving us such a nice opportunity to organize this webinar. And also thankful to the Alumni Association SAL, directors, Varis, and all other coordinators. Thank you.